Well, shalom, and welcome to Torah and Coffee. I've got my Torah, which is right here, and I've got my coffee. Let's bring it back up again. Okay, today's Torah reading is from Devarim, which is Deuteronomy 21, verse 10, to Devarim or Deuteronomy 25:19. The Haftarah is Isaiah 54, 1 through 10. The Messianic people start reading in Isaiah 52, verse 13 through 54:10. And I'll mention the BeritHadasah, or also known as the New Testament, when we get to that. Okay, here we go. Deuteronomy, or Devarim 21:10. When you take the field against your enemies, and Yah, your God, delivers them into your power, and you take some of them captive, and you see among the captives a beautiful woman, and you desire her, and will take her to wife, you shall bring her into your house, and she shall trim her hair, par her nails, and discard her captive's garb. She shall spend a month's time in your house, lamenting her father and mother. After that you may come to her and possess her, and she shall be your wife. Then, should you no longer want her, you must release her outright. You must not sell her for money. Since you had your will with her, you must not enslave her. If a man has two wives, one loved and the other unloved, and both the loved and the unloved have borne him sons, but the firstborn is the son of the unloved one, when he wills his property to his sons, he may not treat his firstborn, the son of the loved one, in disregard of the son of the unloved one, who is older. Instead, he must accept the firstborn, the son of the unloved one, and allot to him a double portion of all his possessions, since he is the first fruit of his vigor. The birthright is his due. If a man has a wayward and defiant son, he does not heed his father or mother, and does not obey them even after they discipline him. His father and mother shall take hold of him and bring him out to the elders of his town at the public place of his community. 20. They shall say to the elders of his town, this son is ours. This son of ours is disloyal and defiant. He does not heed us. He is a glutton and a drunkard. Thereupon the men of his town shall stone him to death. Thus you will sweep out evil from your midst. All Israel will hear and be afraid. If a man is guilty of a capital offense and is put to death, and you impale him on a stake, you must not let his corpse remain on the stake overnight, but must bury him the same day, for an impaled body is an affront to Yah. You shall not defile the land that Yah your God is giving you to possess. Chapter 22, verse 1. If you see a fellow ox or sheep going astray, do not ignore it. You must take it back to your fellow. If your fellow does not live near you, or you do not know he is. You shall bring it home, and it shall remain with you until your fellow claims it. Then you shall give it back to him. You shall do the same with his ass. You shall do the same with his garment. And so, too, shall you do with anything that your fellow loses and you found. You must not remain indifferent. If you see your fellow's ass or oxen fallen on the road, do not ignore it. You must help him raise it. A woman must not put on man's apparel, nor shall a man wear woman's apparel. For whoever does these things are abhorrent to Yah, your God. Excuse me. Thank you. If along the road you change upon a bird's nest in any tree or on the ground, with fledglings or eggs, and the mother sitting over the fledglings or on the eggs, do not take the mother together with her young. 7. Let the mother go and take only the young, in order that you may fare well and have a long life. When you build a new house, you shall make a parapet for your roof, so that you do not bring blood guilt on your house if anyone shall fall from it. You shall not sow your vineyards with a second kind of seed, else the crop from the seed you have sown, and the yield of the vineyard may not be used. You shall not plow with an ox and an ass together. You shall not wear clothes combined, wool and linen. You shall make tassels on the four corners of the garment with which you cover yourself. A man marries a woman and cohabits with her. Then he takes an aversion to her to make up charges against her and defames her, saying, I married this woman, but when I approached her, I found that she was not a virgin. In such a case, the girl's father and mother shall produce the evidence of the girl's virginity before the elders of the town at the gate. And the girl's father shall say to the elders, I gave this man my daughter to wife, but he has taken an aversion to her, as he has made up charges saying, I did not find your daughter a virgin, but here is the evidence of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread out the cloth before the elders of the town, and the elders of the town shall then take the man and flog him, and they shall fine him 100 shekels of silver, and give it to the girl's father, for the man has defamed a virgin of Israel. Moreover, she shall remain his wife. He will never have the right to divorce her. 20. But if the charge proves true, the girl was found not to have been a virgin, then the girl shall be brought out to the entrance of the father's house, and the men of the town shall stone her to death. For she did a shameful thing in Israel, committing fornication while under her father's authority. Thus you shall sweep away evil from your midst. If a man is found lying with another man's wife, both of them, the man and the woman with them he lay, shall die. Thus you will sweep away evil from Israel. In the case of a virgin who is engaged to a man, if a man comes upon her in town and lies with her, you shall take the two of them out to the gate of the town and stone them to death. The girl, because she did not cry for help in the town, and the man, because he violated another man's wife. Thus you will sweep away evil from your midst. 25. But if the man comes upon the engaged girl in the open country, and the man lies with her by force, only the man will lay with her shall die. But you shall do nothing to the girl. The girl did not incur the death penalty, for this case is like that of a man attacking another and murdering him. He came upon her in the open, though the engaged girl cried for help, there was no one to save her. If a man comes upon a virgin who is not engaged, and he seizes her and lies with her, and they are divorced, the man who lay with her shall pay the girl's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he has violated her. He can never have the right to divorce her. Chapter 23. No man shall marry his father's former wife, so as to remove his father's garments. No one who tests are crushed, or whose member is cut off, shall be admitted to the congregation of Yah. No one misguided shall be admitted into the congregation of Yah. None of his descendants, even in the 10th generation, shall be admitted into the congregation of Yah. No Ammonite or Moabite shall be admitted into the congregation of Yah. None of his descendants, even in the 10th generation, shall ever be admitted into the congregation of Yah, because they did not meet you with food and water on your journey after you left Egypt, and because they hired Balaam, son of Beor, from Bethel of Aram Naharaim, to curse you. But Yah, your God, refused to heed Balaam. Instead, Yah, your God, turned the curse into a blessing for you. For Yah, your God, loves you. You shall never concern yourself with their welfare or benefit as long as you live. You shall not abhor an Edomite, for he is your kinsman. You shall not abhor an Egyptian, for you were a stranger in his land. Children born to them may be admitted into the congregation of Yah in the 3rd generation. 10. When you go out as a troop against your enemies, be on your guard against anything untoward. If anyone among you has been rendered unclean by a natural admission, he must leave the camp, and he must not re-enter the camp. Toward evening he shall bathe in water, and at sundown he may re-enter the camp. Further, there shall be an area for you outside the camp, where you may relieve yourself. With your gear you shall have a spike, and when you have squatted, you shall dig a hole with it and cover up your excrement. Since Yah your God moves about in your camp to protect you and to deliver your enemy to you, let your camp be holy. Let him not find anything unseemly among you and turn from you. 16. You shall not turn over to his master a slave who seeks refuge with you from his master. He shall live with you in any place he may choose among the settlements in your middle, wherever he pleases. You must not ill-treat him. No Israelite woman shall be a child prostitute, nor shall any Israelite man be a child prostitute. You shall not bring the fee of a whore or to pay of a dog into your house of Yah your God in fulfillment of any vow, for both are abhorrent for Yah your God. 20. You shall not deduct interest from loans to your countrymen, whether in money or food or anything else that can be deducted as interest. But you may deduct interest from loans to foreigners. Do not deduct interest from loans to your countrymen, so that Yah, your God, may bless you in all your undertaking in the land that you are about to enter and possess. When you make a vow to Yah, your God, do not put off fulfilling it, for Yah, your God, will require it of you, and you will have inquired guilt. Whereas you inquire no guilt if you refrain from vowing. You must fulfill what has crossed your lips and perform what you have voluntarily vowed to Yah, your God, having made the promise with your own mouth. When you enter another man's vineyard, you may eat as many grapes as you want until you are full, but you must not put any in your vessel. When you enter into another man's field of standing grain, you may pluck ears with your hand, but you are not to put your sickle to your neighbor's grain. Chapter 24. Chapter 24. A man takes a wife and possesses her. She fails to please him because he finds something obnoxious about her, and he writes her a bill of divorcement, hands it to her, and sends her away from his house. She leaves his house and becomes the wife of another man. Then this latter man rejects her, writes her a bill of divorcement, hands it to her, and sends her away from his house. Or the man who married her last dies. When the first husband who divorced her shall not take her to wife again, since she has been defiled, for that would be abhorrent to Yah. You must not bring sin upon the land that Yah your God is giving you as an heritage. When the man has taken the bride, he shall not go out with the army to be assigned to it for any purpose. He shall be exempt 1 year for the sake of his household, to give happiness to the woman he has married. A handmill or an upper millstone shall not be taken in pawn, for that would be taking someone's life in pawn. If a man is found to have kidnapped a fellow Israelite, enslaving him or selling him, that kidnapper shall die. Thus you shall sweep out evil from your midst. In case of a skin affection, you must carefully to do exactly as the Levitical code instructed you. Take care to do as I have commanded them. Remember what Yah your God did to Miriam on the journey after you left Egypt. 10. When you make a loan of any sort to your countrymen, you must not enter his house receives his pledge. You must remain outside while the man to whom you may belong brings the pledge out to you. If he is a needy man, you shall not go to sleep in his pledge. You must return the pledge to him at sundown, that he may sleep in his clothes and bless you, and it will be to your merit before Yah your God. You shall not abuse a needy and destitute laborer, whether a fellow countryman or a stranger in one of your communities of your land. You must pay him his wages on the same day before the sun sets, for he is needy and urgently depends on it. Else he will cry to Yah again, and you will incur guilt. 16. Parents shall not be put to death for children, nor the children be put to death for their parents. A person shall be put to death only for his own crime. You shall not subvert the rights of a stranger or the fatherless, and you shall not take a widow's garment in pawn. Remember that you were slaves in Egypt, and that Yah, your God, redeemed you from there, and therefore do I enjoin you to observe this commandment. When you reap the harvest in your field and overlook a sheaf in the field, do not turn back to get it. It shall go to the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow, in order that Yah, your God, may bless you in all your undertaking. When you beat down the fruit of your olive trees, do not go over them again. That shall go to the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, do not pick it over again. That shall go to the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow. Always remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt. Therefore, do I enjoin you to observe this commandment. Chapter 25. When there is a dispute between men and they go to law, and decision is rendered declaring the one in the right and the other in the wrong, if the guilty one is to be flogged, the magistrate shall have him lie down and be given lashes in his presence, by count as his guilt warrants. He may be given up to 40 lashes, but no more, lest being flogged further through excess, your brother be stretched before your eyes. You shall not muzzle an ox while it is threshing. When brothers dwell together and one of them dies and leaves no son, the wife of the deceased shall not be married to a stranger outside the family. Her husband's brother shall unite with her. He shall take her as his wife and perform the Levite duty. The first son that she bear shall be accounted to the dead brother, that his name may not be blotted out in Israel. But if the man does not want to marry his brother's widow shall appear before the elders in the gate and declare, my husband's brother refuses to establish a name for Israel for his brother. He will not perform the duty of his Levite. The elders of this town shall then summon him and talk to him. If he insists, saying, I do not want to marry her, his brother's widow shall go up to him in the presence of the elders, pull the sandals off his feet, spit in his face, and make this declaration. Thus shall be done to the man who will not build up his brother's house. 10. And he shall go in Israel by the name of the family of the unscandaled one. If two men get into a fight with each other, the wife of one comes out to save her husband from the antagonist and puts out her hand and seizes him by his genitals. You shall cut off her hand. Show no pity. You shall not have in your pouch alternate weights, larger and smaller. You shall not have in your house alternate measures, a larger or smaller. You must have completely honest weights and completely honest measures if you are to endure long on the soul that Yah your God is giving you. For everyone who does those things, everyone who deals dishonestly, is a pawn to Yah your God. 17. Remember what Amalek did to you in your journey after you left Israel. 17 again. Remember what Amalek did to you in your journey after you left Egypt. How untethered by fear of Yah, he surprised you on the march when you were famished and weary, and cut down all the stragglers in your rear. Therefore, when Yah your God grants you safety from all your enemies around you in the land that Yah your God is giving you as a hereditary portion, you shall blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven. Do not forget. This concludes the Torah reading. Let's turn to the Haftarah, which is found in Isaiah. We're going to read Isaiah 52, starting on verse 13. Isaiah 52, verse 13. Indeed, my servant shall prosper, be exalted, and raised to great heights, just as the many were appalled at him, so marked was his appearance, unlike that of man, from beyond human semblance. Just so he shall startle many nations. Kings shall be silenced because of him, for they shall see what has not been told them, shall behold what they never have heard. Isaiah 53, verse 1. Who can believe what we have heard? Upon whom was the arm of Yah revealed? For he has ground by his favor like a tree ground, like a tree trunk with the arid ground. He had no form of beauty that we should look at him, no charm that we should find him pleasing. He was despised, shunned by men, a man of suffering, familiar with disease, as one who hid his face from us. He was despised. We held him of no account. Yet it was our sickness that he was bearing, our suffering that he endured. We account him plagued, smitten, and afflicted by Yah. But he was wounded because of our sins, crushed because of our iniquities. He bore the chastisement that made us whole, and by his bruises we were healed. We all went astray like sheep, each one his own way, and Yah visited upon him the guilt of us all. He was maltreated, yet he was submissive. He did not open his mouth, like a sheep being led to the slaughter, like a ewe dumb before those who shear her. He did not open his mouth. He oppressed judgment. He was taken away. Who could describe his abode? For he was cut off from the land of the living through the sin of many people who deserved the punishment, and his grave was set among the wicked and with the rich in his death. For he had done no injustice and had spoken no falsehood. 10. But Yah chose to crush him by disease, that if he made himself an offering for guilt, he might see offspring and have long life, and that through him Yah purpose might prosper. Out of his anguish he shall see it, he shall enjoy it to the full through his devotion. My righteous servant makes the many righteous. It is their punishment that he bears. Assuredly, I will give him the many of his portion. He shall receive the multitude as his spoil, for he exposed himself to death and was numbered among the sinners, whereas he bore the guilt of many and made intercession for sinners. Chapter 54. Shout, O barren one, you who bore no child. Shout out loud for joy, you who do not travail. For the children of the wife for long shall outnumber those of the espoused, said Yah. And not the side of your tent. Extend the size of your dwelling. Do not stint. Lengthen the ropes and drive the pegs firm. For you shall spread out to the right and to the left. Your offspring shall dispossess nations, and shall people the desolate towns. 4. Fear not, you shall not be ashamed. Do not cringe, you shall not be disgraced. For you shall forget the reproach of your youth, and remember no more the shame of your widow. For he who made you will espouse you. His name is Lord of hosts, the Holy One of Israel, will redeem you. He is called God of all the earth. Yah has called you back as a wife forlorn and forsaken. Can one cast off the wife of his own youth, said your God? For a little while I forsook you, but with vast love I will bring you back. In sudden anger, for a moment, I hid my face from you, but with kindness everlasting I will take you back in love, said Yah, your Redeemer. For this to me is like the waters of Noah, as I swore to the waters of Noah, nevermore would flood the earth. So I swear that I will not be angry with you or rebuke you. For the mountains may move and the hills be shaken, but my loyalty shall never move from you, nor my covenant of friendship be shaken, said Yah, who takes you back in love. This concludes the reading of the Haftarah. Let's go over to the BeritHadasah. In the BeritHadasah, otherwise known as the New Testament, we are going to read Mark 5:31 through 32, 19, 3 through 12, and chapter 22, 23 to 32. Then we're going to read Mark 10, 2 through 12, chapter 12, 18 through 27. We're going to read Luke 20, 27 to 38, 1 Corinthians 9, 4 through 18, Galatians 3, 9 to 14, and 1 Timothy 5:17 through 18. So let's go to Matthew 5:31 to 32. Matthew 5:31-32. And it has been said, whoever puts away his wife, let him give her a certificate of divorce. But I say to you that whoever puts away his wife, except for the matter of whoring, otherwise known as adultery, makes her commit adultery. And whoever marries a woman who has not been put away commits adultery. Matthew 19. Matthew 19:3-12. And the Pharisees came to him, trying him, and saying to him, is it right for a man to put away his wife for every reason? And he answered and said to them, did you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female? And he said, for this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and join unto his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So that there are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what Elohim has joined together, let man not separate. They said to him, why then did Moshe command to give her a certificate of divorce and to put her away? He said to them, because of the hardness of your hearts, Moshe allowed you to put away your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever puts away his wife, except on the grounds of whoring, and marries another, commits adultery. And whoever marries her who has been put away commits adultery. His Talmudim said to him, if such is the case of the man with his wife, it is good not to marry. And he said to them, not all receive this word, but only those to whom it has been given. For there are eunuchs who were so born from their mother's womb, and there are eunuchs who were made eunuchs by men, and they are eunuchs who have made themselves eunuchs for the sake of the reign of the Shemayim. He who is able to receive it, let him receive it. Matthew 22. (23) to 32. On that day, the Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moses said that if anyone should die, having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise offspring for his brother. And there were with us 7 brothers, and the first died after he had married, and having no children, left his wife to his brother. The same way the second also the third, unto the 7th. And last of all, the woman died too. And the resurrection then, whose wife of the 7 shall she be? For all had her. And Yeshua answered, saying to them, You go astray, not knowing the scriptures, nor the power of Elohim. For in the resurrection they do not marry, nor are they given in marriage, but are as messengers of Elohim in the Shemayim and in earthen, and concern the resurrection of the dead, You have not read what was spoken to you by Elohim, saying, I am the Elohim of Abraham, and the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Jacob. God is not the Elohim of the dead, but of the living. Mark 10, 2 to 12. We're going to read verse 1 also. And rising up from there, he came unto the borders of Yehuda by the other side of the Jordan, and crowds gathered to him again. And as he casually did, he was teaching them again. Verse 2. And Pharisees came and asked him, Is it right for a man to put away his wife? Trying him. And he answered to them, What did Moshe command you? And they said, Moshe allowed a man to write a certificate of separation and to divorce. And Yeshua said to them, Because of the hardness of your heart, he wrote you this command. However, from the beginning of creation, Elohim made them male and female. For this cause a man shall leave his father and mother and join unto his wife, and the two shall become one flesh, so that they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what Elohim has joined together, let no man separate. And in the house, his servants asked him about this again, and he said to them, Whoever puts away his wife and marries another commits adultery against her. And if the woman puts away her husband and marries another, she commits adultery. Chapter 12. Let's see. Chapter 12, 18. 18 to 27. And Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him, and they asked him, saying, Teacher, Moshe wrote to us that if a brother of anyone dies and leaves his wife behind and leaves no children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. There were 7 brothers, and the first took the wife and died, leaving no offspring. And the second took her and died, leaving behind no offspring. And the third likewise. All the 7 left no offspring. Last of all, the woman died too. In the resurrection, then, when they rise, whose wife shall she be? For 7 had her as wife. And Yeshua answering said to them, It is not good for you to go astray, because you do not know the scriptures, nor the power of Elohim. For when they arise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as messengers in the Shemayim. And concerning the dead, they rise. You have not read in the book of Moshe at the bush how Elohim spoke to him, saying, I am the Elohim of Abraham, I am the Elohim of Yaakov, and I am the Elohim of Yitzhak. He is not the Elohim of the dead, but Elohim of the living. You then go greatly astray. I missed some. Luke 20. I missed a lot of it, didn't I? Here we go. 20, 27, 38. Luke 20, 27 to 38. Let's go. Here we go. and they were unable to catch him. Okay. Saying in the presence of the people and marveling at his answers, they were silent. 27. And some of the Sadducees who deny that there is a resurrection came to him and asked him, saying, Teacher, Moshe wrote to us that if a man's brother dies having a wife, and he dies childless, his brother should take his wife and raise offspring for his brother. Now, there were 7 brothers, and the first took the wife and died childless, and the second took her as wife, and he died childless, and the third took her, and in the same way the 7 also, and they left no children, and died. And last of all, the woman died too, at the resurrection. Then whose wife does she become? For the 7 had her as wife. And Yeshua answering said to them, the sons of his age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are counted worthy of attaining that age and the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are they given in marriage, for neither it is possible for them to die any more, because they are like messengers and are sons of Elohim, being sons of the resurrection. But that are dead are raised. Even Moshe showed at the bush when he called Yahweh the Elohim of Abraham, the Elohim of Yitzhak, and the Elohim of Yaakov. Now he is not the Elohim of the dead, but of the living, for all live to him. 1 Corinthians. 1 Corinthians chapter 9. Uh, 4 to 18. 1 Corinthians 9, 4 through 18. Do we not have the right to eat and drink? Do we not have the right to take along a sister, a wife, as do also the other emissaries and the brothers of the Adon and Kepha? Or do only Barnabas and I have no right to refrain from working? Who serves as a soldier at his own expense? Who plants a vineyard and does not eat of its fruit? Or who shepherds a flock and does not feed on the milk of the flock? Do I say this as a man, or does not the Torah say the same too? Excuse me. For it has been written in the Torah of Moshe, you shall not muzzle an ox while it treads out the grain. It is about oxen Elohim is concerned. Or does he say it because of us all? For this was written because of us, that we who plow should plow in expectation, and the treasure in expectation of sharing. If we have sown spiritually among you, it is too much if we reap materially from you. In other words, in others, you share authority over. If others share authority over you, should not rather we? But we have not used this authority, but we put up with all, lest we hinder the good news of Messiah. Do you not know that those serving the Mikdash eat from the Mikdash, and those attending at the altar have to share of the offering of the altar? So also the Adon instituted that those that those announcing the good news should live from the good news. But I have used none of these, nor have I written this too, that I should be done that it should be done so to me, for it would be better for me to die than that anyone should make my boasting empty. For I bring the good news. It is no boasting for me, for necessary is laid on me, and it is woe to me if I do not bring the good news. For if I do this voluntarily, I have no reward, but if not voluntary, I am entrusted with the management. What then is my reward? That in bringing the good news, I should offer the good news of Messiah without cost, so as not to abuse my authority in the good news. For though I am free from all, I make myself a servant to all in order to win more. Let's go to Galatians chapter 3, 9 through 14. Galatians 3, 9 through 14. So that those who are of belief are Barak or blessed with Abraham, the believer. For as many as our words of Torah are under the curse, for it has been written, cursed is everyone who does not continue in all that has been written in the book of Torah. Do them, and that no one is declared right by Torah before Elohim is clear. For the righteous shall live by belief, and the Torah is not of belief, but the man who does them shall live by them. Messiah redeemed us from the curse of the Torah, having become a curse for us. For it has been written, cursed is everyone who hangs upon a tree, in order that the Barakah of Abraham might have come upon the nations in Messiah Yeshua to receive the promise of the Ruach through belief. 1 Timothy chapter 5, 17 and 18. 1 Timothy 5, 17 and 18. Let the elders who rule will be counted worthy of double respect, especially those who labor in the word and teaching. For the scripture says, you shall not muzzle an ox while he treads out the grain, and the laborer is worthy of his wages. Thus concludes the Torah reading for the week. May Yah shine upon your path. May He lead you into His truth and righteousness, and teach you His Torahs. May He fill you with His shalom. In Yeshua's name, Amen. Until next week, Torah and Coffee bids you shalom.